Hello, God bless you. Thank you for watching this video. I'm going to say up front that out of all the videos I have on my channel, this is probably the one I've been most excited to share and make. Um, it's been, I can't wait to share this with you. Anyway, please share this video if you feel led to. I ask that you please pray over the information I'm going to share with you. And I ask that you just seek the Lord in these matters. I'm going to put out what I've been led to put out, and you know, I'm very excited. Um, I haven't made a video. I haven't been on YouTube in a little bit. I've started a new job. I work in a jail. It's very trying for me. I know the Lord put me there. I know for a fact He did. But it's been difficult, and learning a new job, it's stressful, and I don't have the time to spend with the Lord like I want to, reading the Word and in prayer, uh, and fasting and just different things. It's just been very difficult for me. So when I do pray, I beg the Lord to show me things and to continue to treat me as a child as He has since I've gone to Him. And I've had a difficult time, and it's been rough. But He spoke to me yesterday, and I want to share it with you. I'm going to share some verses with you first, and then I'll get into the story, and then I'll get into what He has laid upon my heart. So, as we know, and most of I think my viewers are pretty mature in their spiritual walk with Christ. But as we know, with tribulation, there's a lot of childbirth references, and this is one example. And I'll show you a few more. For you yourselves, this is 1 Thessalonians 5:2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Now, of course, this is Paul writing to the church of Thessaly, and there's this reference of a childbirth. All right, and that's what I want to focus on. So let's go to look at a couple other ones. Here we have Matthew 24, verse 8, and Jesus is speaking to His disciples and telling them, about the things that will come at the end of the age, and He will, for many shall come in my name and deceive many. And He goes on to say, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Now the Greek word here, sorrows, is speaking of woman's birth pains. Okay, so there's another reference, and then we'll go to one more, which is in Revelation 12, which most people are very familiar with, and this speaks of, and as you know, this is an actual sign in the heavens. It even says a great wonder in heaven. Some Bibles say a sign in the heavens. A woman clothed with the sun, which is the constellation Virgo, the moon under her feet. And this actually happens, folks, just a side note, this actually happens in September 2017 on the day of Rosh Hashanah. So just if you have a star program, you can pull it up, or I have several videos showing this on my page. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered, right here. And there's a lot of argument that talks about the dragon, and what's the dragon then, if this is, and you can get into the planet Nibiru and other things, but that's not the point of what I'm going to say. So here's how this all happened. I was driving in my truck yesterday, and I was in prayer, and I asked the Lord, I was like, Father, with all these references to childbirth and birthing a new age and the fifth age and different things in Revelation 12 and the verses I just showed you, I asked the Lord, I was like, Father, if this is a childbirthing process, or if this is a birthing process into the new age, there had to be a moment of conception. And right away, I felt the Holy Spirit and the Lord, and He said there was a moment of conception. In fact, you've done a study on the moment of conception. And I was kind of surprised, and I started feeling the Holy Spirit, and I immediately pulled over, and I got emotional, and I was like, well, I was confused. And he showed me, he goes, son, the conception was back in November, Comet Ison. And of course, then you start putting time together and you start thinking of things, and you're just like, and then I said, well, Father, so if conception was in November, and if this follows a pattern of a woman giving birth, that means 9 months, the birthing of a new age. And he goes, exactly, son. He goes, no man will know the day or hour. He goes, just as a woman who's pregnant, you will not know the day or hour she is going to give birth. You know her gestation period is 9 months, but you won't know the day or the hour of when she is going to give birth. But you know 9 months is the time the child takes to develop in the womb. And I just, I started getting very, and he started showing me things in my mind, and that's kind of what I'm going to show you now of what he told me. And I'm still in awe, folks. He said you won't know the day or hour. It's going to come upon suddenly, just as a woman gives birth, just as my word tells you. He goes, but you can know the time, because of the conception, when conception took place. You will know it takes 9 months, just as a baby grows in the side of its mother, and I can't give you the exact words he told me, but this is what he was relaying to me. And he's like, you did a study on this with Comet Ison, and when you were looking towards the heavens. And then things started to pop into my mind, and it started to make a whole lot of sense. What I'm going to show you is, and here's my little disclaimer, is I'm not giving you a time of rapture. I'm not giving you a time of when we are going to be swept away or when the Lord is going to return. As his word says, no one knows or will ever know the day or hour. However, I believe what the Lord told me in so many words is we can figure 9 months from November, which is around August. And, what I'm going to show you, like I said, please pray over it and let the Holy Spirit be your guide. Okay, so this is November 2013. And this is a Jewish calendar, okay? We had a hybrid solar eclipse on Rosh Chodesh Kislev, and this was on the 3rd. Then, 25 days later, we have Thanksgiving, which was on Hanukkah. What we're going to do is just break this down as simple as possible, and we're going to talk about this holiday right here in this hybrid solar eclipse. Now, and then we'll get into when Comet Ison, and this is the day Comet Ison went around the sun. Okay? Alright, here we go. So Rosh Chodesh Kislev is the Hebrew, it's the new Hebrew month of Kislev. It is the 9th month. Okay? 9 months in the Hebrew year. Corresponds to November, December Gregorian calendar. Okay? Now, I'm just take all of these little pieces and put them in the back of your mind for right now. Alright, we're going to continue on. Okay, so here's November 3rd, and here's our eclipse. Okay, the rarest of hybrid solar eclipses. Okay, this is the 7th one since Christ. Okay, now on November 3rd, the day this happened, this eclipse happened, Comet Ison passed in front of the Earth. Now, Ison is, if you remember, if you've seen the other videos, went around the sun, okay, and it slingshotted out, but it never slingshotted out, if you remember right. And I'll try to pull up some information here. I'm kind of doing this video and not really as I go, but kind of as I go. Anyway, it slingshotted around the sun and disappeared. There was never an exit. It went into the sun, and now we have a hole in the sun, which we'll get into here in a minute. But this never came out. But on that day, it passed in front of the Earth, almost like an intersection. Passed in front of the Earth and then continued towards the sun. All right. So the seventh one since Christ. Now what I want to show you, and I'm going to blow this up a little bit, and oops, and show you something. Now there's something very interesting where this happens. And if you've watched the Groks before, like I've shown with the Ark and different things in Google Earth, right here at the high point of the eclipse, there's something very strange in Google Earth, and I'll show you that. Alright, so let's go to Google Earth and I'll show you that. So right around here was the max point of the eclipse. Let's zoom in a little bit, and you're going to see something pretty amazing. Right here is a star. You can clearly see it. There's a line that goes across, down, right here, back up, and it forms this star right here. And I'll back out a little bit. You can get right there. You can see it as plain as day. The 2 points, this point up here, kind of continues. Even you get this rough ridge, and you can kind of see it right there, how it continues up and down. But it's a perfect star. Here's another intersection, another point, and it comes down. Now, I find that pretty fascinating. Just sitting right there, right where the eclipse went across. We can back out a little bit and see it. But it's plain, right there, the star. Isn't that beautiful? How the Lord made that. I mean, He put that there. It's amazing. I did look and research like this little point here, and then the eclipse actually from here goes across Africa right through here. And I've researched this. I haven't found anything yet. I'm going to continue to look. You know, Libreville, Liberation. I mean, you know, there's so many different things, but I saw that star and I thought that was pretty significant. How the Lord just put that right there. Bam, bam. Okay, so let's continue on. Okay, so now we're going to go to, let me go back here. I'm sorry about that. We're going to go to Thanksgiving, which is Hanukkah. Alright, so we have 25 days later, we have Hanukkah. And let's look at what Hanukkah is. Alright, holiday is the 8-day Jewish holiday commemorating the rededication of the Holy Temple, or the Second Temple in Jerusalem. And one thing I thought, and what the Lord kind of showed me, is our bodies are now the Holy Temple. Alright, you know, the temple was used to put God into Jerusalem. However, God dwells among us through Jesus Christ. And our bodies are supposed to be the temple for God to dwell inside us. Just as Jesus, when He rode into Jerusalem, what was the first thing He did? He climbed the stairs to the temple, and He saw that there was trading going on. There was sin. There was sin in the temple. So just as Jesus cleansed the temple literally in Jerusalem, He cleanses our temple for the Father as well. And if you remember, He was throwing the tables over and chasing people with a whip and all kinds of things. He was getting rid of the sin out of the temple of God. It was a house of prayer. Our bodies are dedicated. So it could be, you know, and we're going to get to the good stuff here in a minute on what I saw, but what I saw here was commemorating the rededication of our bodies to God. You know, as He sees this. Now, here's where we're going to get into when actually Comet ISON went around the sun. And I'm going to show you what the Lord showed me. Okay, so these are comet parts, if you will. Alright, let's just take this one for example. Here we have a tail, we have a nucleus, alright, and a coma. And it kind of shows pictures of it and has different things. And we can look here, you know, at a couple different ones. Right here, dust tail, nucleus, some basic parts to an actual comet. Now, let's compare this to something. All right? We're going to compare this to something. We're going to compare this to male sperm. This is the male sperm cell. All right? And just as we just saw here, you have a tail, you even have a nucleus, okay? And it even kind of resembles a comet in a way, all right? And what I want you to keep in mind, if the Lord was going to show conception on a galactic level, what would it look like? Okay? So just keep this in mind. Here's another simple one. Okay? Now let's take a look at the sun. And here we have the sun, okay? We have the core or nucleus, different different spheres. You have the chromosphere, photosphere, all the different things. All right. One thing that caught my mind was pay particular attention to this image. Corona, sunspots, photosphere, chromosphere. Okay, even have the Earth here. Now, let's keep this one in mind right here. Let's look at the female egg. This is the female egg. Pretty amazing. Almost the same image. And in fact, I have them both pulled up. Let's flip through it real quick here. There's the sun. There's the egg. Amazing. Now, for a woman, okay, the cycle is, I believe, 28 days. And we go right here, 21 to 35 days. Now, it was 25 days from the day of our eclipse until Thanksgiving, or I'm sorry, Hanukkah, which I think is, I'm not sure the woman's cycle, but I think it can, it ranges. So you have that 25 days. Now, let's look at when these things come together. So this is Comet ISON when it collided with the sun. And as you can see, the sun is pretty big. This is the sun right here. They use a cover over it. And here comes Comet ISON. Now, it never went around the other side. Okay, some pictures you'll see, right here, 27th, it goes around. It never came out. There was nothing ever on the other side. So it either disintegrated when it got so close to the sun, or it went into the sun, or, we just lost track. I don't know. But I think it went into the sun. Okay, here it is right here, going around. And here's a great picture of it right here. I mean, what does this look like to you? Well, let's take a look. All right, here's our sun. Here's Comet ISON. Let's check something out. Here we have a male sperm to the female egg. Of course, it's outsized. All right, the female egg is huge compared to the sperm, just as the comet was to the sun. Now, here's another one. Is this what happened to Comet ISON? I think it is. I think this is what the Lord is showing me. Now, we have a bunch of comments going. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, look at that. I mean, wow. Let's look at that and this right here. I'm convinced. I hope you're seeing this. I hope the Lord is showing this to you. I ask that you pray about it, please. Please. But I think that's what happened. Let's take a quick look. I know there's a hole in the sun, a square hole for some reason. I saw this yesterday. Yeah. So I don't know if the Lord and that you can find this on different websites. There's a good picture of this, the one I saw yesterday. I don't know if Ison did this when it hit the sun or what exactly happened, but um, I'm convinced, folks, that this is the egg. The sun symbolized the egg, and the sperm, Comet Ison. And when those things happened back in November, just like the Lord said, I did a study on it. I didn't see much. There is a verse in the Bible where it talks about an angel coming from the east. I'm going to pull that up actually, real quick. I think it's Revelation 7, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because we had four angels standing on the four corners of the earth. We know angels are stars. Whoops. Standing on the four corners of the earth, and there's actually four planets, and if you've looked at my videos, that actually formed a box around the earth, and then this angel, which was Ison, came in from the east having the seal of the living God. And that's kind of where I stopped with it. I didn't realize, this could be something more wonderful. But I just pray that that you'll go to the Lord and you'll talk to Him about this, because it is a time thing, and no man will know the day or hour. Just as a mother giving birth, you will not know when the child is going to be born. However, I believe the Lord has shown me a little bit more, and as the days get closer to His return, He's going to reveal more and more and more to His followers. I'm nobody special, of course. I'm just, I actually battle quite often with how do I get this information, and I find myself just at His mercy, But anyway, thank you for watching. Please share if you feel led to share. This is wonderful news. If you feel the same way I do, this is wonderful news to share to our brothers and sisters. God bless you. Have a wonderful week, day, and I love each and every one of you. Feel free to message me, comment, whatever it is you feel led to do. If you see something more in this, please post. I will always answer. Might not be right away, but I will always try to answer you back. God bless you. Thank you for watching.